Good evening everyone. Welcome to the YouTube channel Just Information. I hope you all are fine. Today we will learn about class 7th science chapter electricity part 5, and this is the last part of this chapter. In this chapter we will learn about battery, how does a cell generate current, positive and negative ions, etc. First we will learn about battery. Battery. A combination of cells is called a battery. A combination of cells is called a battery. History of battery. The first battery was created by 1800 by Alessandro Volta by Alessandro Volta in 1800. The arrangement to create battery, he made a stack by alternating layers of zinc blotting paper soaked in salt water and silver. This arrangement was known as voltaic pile. The top and the bottom layers of the pile must be different metals. If you attach a wire to the top and bottom of pile, you can measure the voltage and current from the pile. The pile can be stacked as high as you like, and each layer will increase the voltage by a fixed amount. Now, how does a cell generate current? The working principle is a cell generates current by converting chemical energy into electrical energy. Cell mechanism: conversion of chemical energy to electrical energy. Consider a cell having copper and zinc electrodes which are dipped in sulfuric acid electrolyte solution. The upper ends of the electrodes are connected by a wire. The working diagram, is a rectangle box type, in that two dark strips, these are very dark, this is of copper, this is of zinc, like this. This is external circuit wire connection. This is like this. There is a solution. Fill the half container and is called dilute H2SO4 solution. Again H2SO4 plus water. Now the working is chemical action of electrolyte. H2SO4 splits into H plus and H2SO4 minus 2 ions. H2SO4 to the 2H positive plus SO4 minus 2. The H plus and SO4 minus 2 ions move randomly in the reaction that causes zinc to form positive ions and the copper to form negative ions. These ions are freely flowing in the electrolyte. No current flow can occur until the electrode terminals are connected to a circuit. The electrons can flow from the zinc electrode through the external circuit to the copper electrode. The chemical reaction between the zinc and the electrolyte continues and zinc is eventually used up in the process. Now we will learn about primary cell. That is, a primary cell is one in which the chemicals need replacement after they have got consumed or have after a fixed amount of electrical energy has been supplied by the cell. Examples: voltaic cell, button cell, dry cell, bichromate cell, etc. Now dry cell. We normally use these dry cells in torches, transistors, radios, toys, clocks and many other things. Construction. A dry cell consists of various layers. Layer 1 is a cylindrical container made of zinc. Layer 2, it is a paper pulp soaked in solution of ammonium chloride. Layer 3, it is a paste of ammonium chloride which acts as an electrolyte. Layer 4, it is a mixture of powdered coke, graphite and manganese dioxide. And layer 5 is a carbon rod with a metal cap on its top is fixed in the middle of the dry cell. Working. Here the zinc container and the carbon rod acts as two electrodes. The positive charge accumulates at the carbon rod. This is due to the chemical reaction that takes place between ammonium chloride and zinc. The negative charges accumulate at the zinc container. Significance of name. The electrolyte used in this cell is dry in comparison with other cells. When all the chemicals present in the cell get used up, it can no longer produce current. Such a cell is termed as dead cell. Now, button cell. You might have seen a small cell in a wristwatch or calculators. It is in the shape of a button. It is nothing but a dry cell, popularly known as a button cell. They are compact and have a longer life. Examples: 1. Mercury oxide cells. A mercury oxide cell has mercury oxide as the negative terminal and zinc is as the positive terminals. 2. Silver oxide cells. A silver oxide cell has silver oxide as a negative terminal and zinc as a positive terminal. Now, secondary cell. A secondary cell is one in which the chemicals need no replacement as they can be renewed by simply passing a current through the cell in the opposite direction. In other words, the chemical reaction in a primary cell is irreversible, while that in a secondary cell is reversible. An acid accumulator is a secondary cell. A secondary cell is also called a storage cell. This is because when an electrical current is passed through it, The electrical energy gets stored or accumulated in it in the form of chemical energy. This process of storage of electrical energy in the form of chemical energy is called charging. And the first was the name of secondary cell is also storage cell. Well, when the cell is used, the stored electrical energy is given back by the cell by a conversion of chemical energy into electrical cell energy. This process is also called discharging. The charging and discharging of a secondary cell can go almost indefinitely. Lead acid storage battery. It usually consists of 6 cells. Electrolyte. The electrolyte used in such batteries is generally a dilute solution of sulfuric acid. Electrolyte. Next is electrode. First one we have seen. It is made of plates of lead oxide and spongy lead. These batteries are also known as lead accumulators or storage batteries. Uses. This type of batteries are used in cars, trucks and inverters. Thank you for watching today's video. I hope you have understand this video and whole chapter. For any queries and doubts, please join the Telegram link given in the description of this video. Thank you for watching.